Almost a month ago to the day, the Maine Oak Emporium building in Mount Airy, which stood for more than a century, partially collapsed. Contractors are trying to figure out how to save the lower half of the building and how much it's going to cost to rebuild. Now, some folks in town say they want to see it fixed. Others say they understand if the rest of it has to go too.
But whatever happens, it'll be historic. Fox 8's Daniel Pierce joins us from the newsroom to explain how the story of this building's being preserved. And Daniel, I know a lot of people are following the progress of this.
And the Mount Airy Museum of Regional History is directly across from Maine Oak, and they're trying to make sure that whatever happens, people are going to be able to enjoy it and take it in. Now, the team has been taking photos and also taking parts of the building like this brick that is still crumbling here in my hand here in the newsroom. They're taking pieces of the past to present it to the present. What exactly can these 6 different colored bricks molded in the late 1800s tell us about the history of Mount Airy?
Some quality differences in the brick itself.
It turns out a lot.
Both the science and technology aspect also allows us to talk about the human element of how that was assembled by people.
The top floor of the 19th century Maine Oak Emporium building collapsed on July 5th for unknown reasons. Early investigations point to a piece of 21st century technology as being the cause. This cell tower placed on the roof. Matt Edwards has had a front row seat to it all.
We can kind of watch things happen, and so if there are big changes being made, we can kind of document and record that kind of in real time.
What, if anything, are you learning new about Maine and Oak Emporium?
Well, I think that it has a much bigger place in people's hearts than I realized.
Matt is the executive director for the Mount Airy Museum of Regional History. It's directly across from the building. Its displays touch on Mount Airy before the European migration, pre-Civil War, and the early days of the town when Maine Oak Emporium was constructed.
Right here on the corner of this block, there were 3 hardware stores. That was one of the 3 hardware stores. And there are some stories that come into play related to people who may have rented the building or for what it was used for.
His team has documented the collapse and the cleanup through photos and bits and pieces of what tumbled off, like this iron screw with the star lug nut.
In the vicinity, as I understand it, probably of where the blowouts occurred. The fact that the star was a nod of patriotism at the time period. So all these things tie together with that one little thing.
Each item a moment in time to tell the story of how this beloved building came to be and where it goes next.
To try and be involved to help preserve as much as we can of that story for the future, knowing that there is a possibility that the building might not survive at the end of this story.
Matt told me that his team is a long way away from putting together a full display to tell the story of Maine Oak Emporium. In the meantime, they're going to keep documenting what exactly happens right outside their window when it comes to preservation. There is one part of the story, though, that Matt says needs to be told. I'll explain what that is tonight at 11.